Well, now to my weekly chat with Nick Cater, the host of Nick Cater's Battleground every Friday night here on ADH TV. There's a lot to cover, so let's get straight into it. Nick, welcome.
Hi Fred, how are you?
Good. First, let's talk about Facebook taking sides on the debate about the Aboriginal voice to Parliament. Let me guess, it's censoring our side of the debate, is that right?
You're right. It's part of big tech's war against conservatives, but in this case, I found this one very chilling. And here we are, we're about to have a conversation. We're being told we need to have a conversation about the voice before we go to a referendum on whether to approve it or not. And now one side of that conversation, which just happens to be the side which opposes the voice, is being silenced on Facebook. And the people who are being silenced is astounding, Fred. So Jacinta Price, for instance, produced a video with Anthony Dillon, the well-known academic, last week for the IPA, and they put that up. It's been taken down. So what's happened? We've got an Aboriginal voice elected to speak in Parliament who's been denied a voice on Facebook because Facebook supports a voice to Parliament. It's absurd on the one hand, but chilling on the other. That somebody in Silicon Valley has sat down and said, we are going to take sides in a debate in which is purely for Australians to decide the future of their constitution. And if this is what's happening, then I think we're in dire straits.
Maybe someone should load the case in favour of the voice onto a laptop and leave it at a repair shop. Maybe then the other side would get banned for a change.
Yeah, exactly. It would be nice, wouldn't it? And then it wouldn't see the light of day, which I think you're alluding to the interview I did with Miranda Devine for tomorrow night's show.
Well, actually, before we move on to Miranda Devine, that's a good segue, but I didn't actually mean it. But do you think the Prime Minister needs to intervene on this censorship in Australia by Facebook?
Absolutely he does. Scott Morrison doesn't get too much good press these days, but look, quite a number of things Scott Morrison did that was admirable was to stand up to big tech. You remember he told them, he said, look, you should pay for news content rather than just stealing it from Australian news companies. And he won that battle. And he took them to task again more recently, Google and Apple, for making it so hard for parents to monitor their kids' internet use online. He went to battle to persuade them to put the tools up that would allow parents to do that, which is all perfectly reasonable. So governments can stand up to them. And I think in this case, this is a chance for Anthony Albanese to show what a great statesman he is. He's obviously in favour of the voice himself. He'd probably have some sympathy with whoever it is in Silicon Valley who's decided to censor the no case. But he has to understand this is the integrity of our democracy at stake. That if we're going to have a genuine debate leading up to the referendum, then yes, both sides of the argument must be fully heard. And in any case, this is a matter of sovereign rights, isn't it? I think this is a matter of saying to them, you will not interfere in our political affairs here, which is essentially what Facebook is doing. If you do, there will be consequences. And that's what I'd like to hear from the Prime Minister.